Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakadash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Archeum, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. This is your brother Yassad back at you with another lesson, willingness edifying, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, unto the house of Israel, mainly the elect, right? So this one here is Israel have been in many captivities, but the Lord delivered them from all. And even currently now, Israel actually is in captivity pursuant to Baruch. I'll get that after, right? So this, I'll start off with this first precept in Micah 4 and 11. It says, now also many nations are gathered against thee, that say, let her be defiled, and let our eye lay upon Zion. So again, going back to the Psalms 83 that we bring out, all these nations, they were confederate. They were confederate against Israel, right? And all these nations basically came together, and did what? They set themselves against the house of Israel, against the apple of the Lord's eye, right? The transatlantic slave trade. Edom, the so-called white man, being in the first, the first one of the first nations in the Psalms 83 to come up against us, and Moab and all these other nations, even the children of Ham, right? These Hamites, right? Hey, they came and they went. They actually have Israel in the position that they are actually in now, because what did they say in Lamentation? We have swallowed her up. I'm gonna get that in book of Lamentation, chapter 4. So Lamentations 2, 15. Right, Lamentations 2 and 15. All that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash their teeth, and they say, we have swallowed her up. Surely, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. Right? That is why you even see upon Jake there's a hatred of the heathens upon us all over the earth. That's why we are known as a byword, a proverb. The scriptures speak of us as being, snared. We being in the prison houses. We full of basically one set of sores, right? We full of sores from these nations. And that is what, because pursuing to the curses of Deuteronomy for us going astray unto the Lord, right? For us departing from the Lord, we ended up in this situation. There's a precept, and I think it's Jeremiah 33. Right, Jeremiah 50 and 33. Right? It said, thus said the Lord powerful, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Both the northern and the southern kingdom, they were oppressed together. Right? And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So even up to now, they 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 refuse to let the people go. Right? We still under their we still in bondage under their rulership. Henceforth, use property at their state. You know, you have a birth paper, you have, you know, your identification in order for you to go to another country. You have to have a passport or a visa and all these things because it's all governed by them. John 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Right? But here, this is the point, because even in the Lord, many scriptures, the Lord reiterate, you know, or repeat himself, saying he is the one that delivered Israel from the land of Egypt, from bondage, right? And he's gonna do it again, because it was only Egypt we were delivered out of, but we was delivered out of many different captivities. I'll get the account in the book of Judges, you know. Let's say verse 34, their Redeemer is strong. The Lord powerful is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Because right now um we basically into the hand of Babylon right now, you know, Babylon being America in these times, you know, basically like the capital, Edom. I mean, you know, we know, hey, the Lord is gonna totally destroy this place, but the thing about Babylon is she influenced all these other nations, all these other countries and whatnot, and made them drink of all her laws of fornication. That is why you're seeing there's a U.S. embassy in all these different countries, because she spread her wings about the place, right? Um, let's let's get here. I was talking about the Baruch, right? Because I used to show you that we yet stay in our captivity, Baruch 2 and 8 yet. So Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, wherein thou hast scattered us for a reproach, and a curse, and to be subject to payments. Yes, these jakes, even they who, the middle class jakes, they as well subject to a lot of payments, right? According to all the iniquity of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power. Again, because that is the reason why we end up in this position. And the heathen shall know. I think it's Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 36. 36 or 39 somewhere. Let's write it. Yeah, Ezekiel 39:23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. Yeah, another precept. Well, I mean, I brought out the Isaiah 30. You know that the children of Israel and the children of Judah, they were both oppressed together, and you know their oppressors refused to let them go because we're still under their hands. You know, they're not gonna let us go until the Lord redeems us, right? I'm going to here like the accounts in the book of Judges. Right. Judges 2 and 11. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and served Baalim. Right. Jump into verse, because I basically are going to the point. So when we did evil in the sight of the Lord, and we served the other gods, and they forsook the Lord power of your fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, because the laws, our constituency, we were given laws, such and commandments that we ought to uphold, and if we don't, all these curses and judgments would be cast upon us. Right? So again, it said, and followed other gods of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. And they forsook the Lord, and served Baalim and Ashtoreth. And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he delivered them into the hands of spoilers that spoiled them, and he sold them in the hands of their enemies round about, so that they could not longer stand before the enemies. Yeah? You know, the enemies swallowed them up. Even now we are swallowed up. Right? It says, whethersoever they went out, the hand of the Lord was against them for evil. The curses were heavily upon us, and it even is heavy upon us now. Right? Um, as the Lord had said, as the Lord has said, and as the Lord had sworn unto them, and they were greatly distressed. Now going back to what, Deuteronomy 28, right? Jumping down to verses 23. Therefore the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily, neither did he deliver them into the hand, neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua. Right? Um, jumping to right, verse 31. This here was basically the Lord bringing deliverance. Verse 30. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel. So again, Moab took us into captivity. The precept in First Maccabees, I think it's 3. It's speaking of what nation hadn't got enough of spoil. Because all these nations, had us in slavery, and even has us now under their, set up. Yeah, I tell you one, and after him was Shamgar, the son of Anat, right, which slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox horde, and he also delivered Israel. Yeah. And after the deliverance, again, Judges 3 and 12, and the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, the Japanese, and what the head of Esau, which is Amalek, the grandson of Esau, which is basically the head tribe, and went and smote Israel and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. And it just climbed, you were delivered, and we just climbed and climbed. Judges 6 and 1. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. So from 18 years to 7 years. Oh my God, next account. Judges 13 and 1. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years. And so it continued up to now, where hundreds of years we into the hands of Esau Edom. Well, from the Grecian Empire, to the Greco-Roman Empire. Then we got ease of adversaries from the Byzantine Empire, and after that Renaissance, he continued up to now. revived Roman Empire. Well, the Roman Empire being revived, and he continued, you know. But hey, in this time here, just as it was in old, because that man. Alright, the book of Jeremiah 23 and 8, start at 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and led, which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Yeah, so the Lord is going to deliver us again in these times, right? Um, that is why the scripture say in Isaiah, but in this time, deliverance is coming to the elect. Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up his standard against him. Yeah, but we know, though Israel be as the sand of the sea, a remnant is going to be saved. The Lord is not going to come to save the whole house of Israel this time, right? Had, had Israel obtained that which the Lord seeketh for, but an election had obtained it, right? So it's not that the whole house gonna be delivered as in the days of Egypt, but all the wicked are his people, all the sinners, they're gonna die, they who didn't repented. And that's why the scripture say when the consumption a remnant gonna return. This is the book of um, Isaiah 10:22. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. Right? Yeah, yeah, pa. Yeah, pa. Right? Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 1. The souls of the righteous, which is basically the elect, is in the hand of the Lord. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, and there shall no torment touch them. Yeah, because Jacob's trouble is coming, the time of great distress is coming. Isaiah 33 and verses 6, it see, and with so well, this is and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, because again, Sirach 39, right? He that meditate, Sirach 39 and 1, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecy. So that is going to be a man watching for the prophecies and going to be occupied. So that is a servant of the Lord. That is one of the Lord's elect. Would be in that spirit, and what? Via that wisdom and knowledge is gonna be a aid to his salvation. Right? Because Jeremiah 33 no 30 and 7 says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So the time that is coming is gonna be far worse than 70 AD, and when we were pursued by Pharaoh and all these other different captivities and distress to Israel is gonna be far worse. That's why they have biochemical warfare, robots, all sorts of things to just wipe you jakes out. Look, recently they tested the great, Squid Game and deleted a lot of you jakes. But again, I'll read this last precept here, Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So the things that we have faced already through the reincarnation, from being judged from the Lord, judgments, destruction, this time it's gonna be far more worse. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Again, this salvation is gonna be to the elect. So this lesson was edifying, double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Archie. I'm pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Until the next one, shalom.